You know what I mean?
Jay, I tell Hov a lot, man. I don't think he understand. He know. I ain't gonna say he don't know, but I think at one point, bro, we could have signed the whole New York City.
Absolutely,
100%.
absolutely. You got you know what y'all did for people coming from, especially where we come from. We from the style, like when you see somebody do it that you absolutely relate to, you like, man, it gives you some hope that you can change some of this shit around in your life. You know what I mean?
And back then, a lot of these kids don't understand because it's I ain't gonna say it's easy, but it's easier than it was for us back then to get in the game. You could create a YouTube channel, IG, Twitter, get your following up, and they see your music. Back then, this shit was like telling them you going to the NBA.
They didn't just shift the sound of hip-hop. Hold up, they reshaped the entire game. Back then, they practically had the New York City rap scene on lock. No exaggeration. This wasn't some Wi-Fi social media era where everyone had access. This was pure gatekeeper energy, real industry power controlling who ate and who didn't. Major label deals actually carried weight in those days, like life-altering weight. If Jay-Z and Dame Dash put their stamp on you, listen to this, your whole life is flipped overnight. Memphis Bleek is laying it all out, explaining how Roc-A-Fella Records had so much leverage they could have signed damn near all of New York if they felt like it. And no, girl, he's not being dramatic. This is a first-hand perspective from someone who was really in the room. Now, I'm about to roll this clip for y'all, but before I do, pause real quick. Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure you're subscribed. All right, let's get into it.
Watched you grind, my G, and then here come High Hater.
Absolutely.
Yo.
Before High Hater was Rumors, though. I don't know if you remember Rumors. When it was the song when I was talking about all the rumors. That's the song that actually got me signed first. That was the song that kind of changed the game, because before that, it was like the mixtapes and the DVDs. It was that era. We was on there talking crazy.
Yo, wait, going back there, you just sparked the memory, man. I remember back then, too. That's when they used to be like, yo, I ain't gonna front, man. Ain't no squeezing all the DJs. He putting deodorant on everybody's neck. That nigga in the club like this, yo, let me highlight you real quick, homie. Nigga say you was putting deo on everybody in the city.
You know what? I hear that so much, right? And I'm like, I don't feel like he was like that. Like I don't think, because niggas like, yo, I was smacking DJs up, and I'm like, nah, I ain't never, ever
put my hands
on a DJ. Okay, maybe a couple promoters, but
for sure,
no DJs, right? But the thing was, it's like sometimes we gotta. I was coming from a world where it was aggressive. I've been in two places in my whole life. It was the streets, and I've been in prison. And after prison, I went back to the streets. So my introduction might have been a little aggressive because the energy of just coming home, you gotta understand the mentality of a nigga that just been in prison all this time. His energy is up because we sit in the day room like, damn, fantasizing. Yo, bro, let me tell you, man, I used to sit in the day room and watch y'all. Understand this perspective of 70 people in a day room watching TRL or Rap City, and they doing a Roc-A-Fella countdown or whatever it is, and we just like, man,
when I touch down,
right? Like, and you could just fantasize. And I tell Proof all the time, I'm like, man, I wanted to be down with Roc-A-Fella. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want, like, because everybody, like, you have these dreams. You have these dreams.
I tell
you know
Jay, I tell Hov a lot, man. I don't think he understand. He know. I ain't gonna say he don't know, but I think at one point, bro, we could have signed the whole New York City.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. You got you know what y'all did for people coming from, especially where we come from. We from the style, like when you see somebody do it that you absolutely relate to, you like, man, it gives you some hope that you can change some of this shit around in your life. You know what I mean?
And back then, a lot of these kids don't understand because it's I ain't gonna say it's easy, but it's easier than it was for us back then to get in the game. You could create a YouTube channel, IG, Twitter, get your following up, and they see your music. Back then, this shit was like telling a nigga you going to the NBA.
100%.
Niggas like, no, you not.
If you had a major record deal, it was because you was that good.
That's right. You
Right?
had to be.
You was that good, and that's what it said. It was more prestigious. It was like because you had to meet a standard, like because everybody wasn't getting record deals.
Nope. Everybody could not go.
Yeah,
it wasn't for everybody.
Nah,
it was for a select few. And then certain people got in because they got vouched for.
Right, but it was still who you knew though.
That's a fact.
Right, which wasn't easy because everybody didn't have access. So it wasn't like now where the technology made it to where it's like you could go in your grandmother's basement and make a record and then upload it on your Instagram and your YouTube page, and then you just a rapper.
Yep.
Right? And I say this all the time. Rap is like the only industry where it's no standard. You don't have to meet a requirement, right? You know what I mean? You just can't be a professional boxer.
No.
You can't just be.
No, you can't wake up and just be like, you're gonna get your shit, nigga.
Right. You can't just be a professional basketball player, like
football, nothing. You can't wake up and get into no league.
Nothing. You can't
rap.
just be a doctor. You can't just be a lawyer. Like you have to study, work, study, school,
master your craft.
School. Right.
Yeah.
Rap. You can man, you know what? I got 4,000 followers. I want to get a rapper.
That's a fact.
I'm going to the studio, and then I'm gonna be lit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I in the way it's good and bad, because in the way it oversaturates the game, makes it too accessible for everybody. But then the good side is, come on, man, it's making a lot of uneducated people that ain't qualified to get jobs able to feed and provide for their family. So I like that part. You know what I'm saying? I love that part.
This is one of those discussions that really exposes how quickly power can rise and how just as fast it can disappear. What Bleek shared hit a little harder because it wasn't coming from bitterness or some nostalgia grab for clicks. It was clarity. When he talks about Jay-Z and Dame Dash having the ability to sign all of New York City, listen closely. He's really talking about timing, leverage, belief, and an era where momentum was everything and access meant even more. My real takeaway is simple. Roc-A-Fella was never just a label, it was a message. When artists saw people who looked like them and came from the same places winning at the highest level, it changed how everybody moved. It made dreams feel possible. Not easy, but possible in a real way. I don't think this conversation is about longing for the past. Every era comes with its own pros and cons. Today, the music industry is more open than it's ever been. Artists have way more control now. Branding matters, ownership matters, and you can build an audience without asking anyone for permission. That's powerful, and honestly, I love that part. However, one thing we lost along the way was scarcity, and scarcity creates value. Back then, landing a major deal meant you were undeniable. Today, visibility doesn't always translate to longevity. That's not a shot at the new generation. It's just the reality of an oversaturated market. More access also means more noise. The real challenge now is standing out without burning yourself out. At its peak, Roc-A-Fella Records was distributed through Def Jam, which falls under Universal Music Group, a company now pulling in over $10 billion a year. That's the level of infrastructure Jay-Z and Dame Dash were operating inside of. That's why their choices carried so much weight back then. A machine like that can make or break careers with a single move. So let me ask y'all something. Do you really think Jay-Z and Dame Dash could have signed all of New York City if they wanted to? Or was that moment bigger than any one label could ever control? And where do you think Memphis Bleek fits into the Roc-A-Fella story today, both as an artist and as a voice reflecting on that era? Drop your thoughts down below in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.